Good everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to talk about a very simple and small topic that's to give your customer the future now. So in the previous episode, we looked at the archetype, right? Which is pretty cool, right? The different kinds of customers you can associate with. Now, that's all great, right? I mean, you obviously, as a company or a founder or a CEO, you have different plans, right, to make your company grow and to give a better customer experience. Because at the end of the day, customer pays for your salary, right? Because they buy the product, and based on the sale, you generate the wealth, right? That's in a simple nutshell. Though it can be a complicated process, but I try to simplify it in in a tiny statement. But that being said, right? I mean, when you build your strategy, it's very important not to build it just for today, but just for tomorrow as well. For instance, if you're suggesting, say, a solution for today, right? You might miss out the future trend, that might be appealing to your customer. Now, let me give you a very simple example, right? Let's do a time travel. Let's go back in time, right? Where the websites were, getting a lot of attention, right? And a lot of conventional way of doing using pen and paper were started to migrate towards computers, right? And people were using website to fill in the information and even store the stuff, right? And before the iPhone or Android came into picture, right? A lot of things people were not really considering much about the mobile apps, right? Now, if you had a business owner, if you were envisioned, right, this stuff would have happened in future, right, in terms of mobile, then you would have made lots of money, um, in 2023 because you already planned that stuff. Now, if you are suggesting a business idea, if you're suggesting something for a customer, right, there are different things you can consider for today. Like, for instance, you can think about metaverse, you can think about augmented based reality, and even the rise of artificial intelligence. You can think about, building a solution like giving a recommended based approach, right, where a customer buys something, and you can give them different choice based on their the shopping input, right, based on their shopping pattern. So that's something you can obviously embed in your business, right? Just to make sure, you're giving the customer what they're exactly looking for. So, but that means I do get it, right? It's very difficult to predict for future, right? You can't really predict what's going to happen 20 years from now, but you can get a vague idea about what might change in the 5 years. Like, for instance, I run a company, right? So I run a training company, but I believe that metaverse will take over in 5 years' time. The training will be completely different. So that's something I'm trying to bring that to my business, the concept of metaverse, where the training, the conventional way of training will die down. I mean, let's accept the fact, right? People don't want to accept the reality, but from my personal experience, based on the tech has evolved over the past 15 years, I can say that the metaverse will be a game changer if when the business started to adopt at the universal level. Right now, the adoption rate is pretty low. That's why you don't see much trend, and the meta laying off people is not really helpful as well, right? But that being said, augmented reality will kick in at the very at a faster pace in 5 to 10 years, right? That's something we will see. Just because it's not happening now doesn't mean it won't happen, right? And so that kind of things you can actually, try to implement in your business so that you can envision that what may happen, right? I'm not saying that whatever you envision may, you know, work out or may turn out the way as you envisioned, but it's always good to keep that into consideration. And if you're a CEO, if you're a founder, right, it's always good to run that with your stakeholder. Obviously, they're the one who's funding your innovation and and the changes you wanted to do to your business. So it's very important that you get them on board so that you get to know their opinion as well. Because sometimes what might happen is that stakeholders say, "Hey, I'm not going to invest something which is not even proven, which we're not sure going to work. What's the point of investing billions of dollars when we realize that, maybe for 5 years down the line, it's just a waste of money?" So you just need to run that with your business stakeholders, and you need to have a better pitch or a convincing pitch to make sure they are across the board and they cross your obviously you're trying to sell your dream, right? Even though you're a founder, you have different vision, right? You're trying to sell your vision to your stakeholders, and they're the one who funds your vision, right? So obviously it's very important to get the approval. So this, like I said, right, it may not reflect anything from a Salesforce perspective. You must be thinking why we've been talking about it, but if you wanted to know, right, this specific certification is not really, talking 100% about the Salesforce. It's just about the overall business uh, as a whole, right? It just about it. The whole point of this certification is to give you an holistic idea about customer experience, how to plan things for the future, what does empathy means, all kind of stuff, right? And obviously, we will talk about Salesforce aspect as well. We will bring Salesforce aspect to it, but it's very important to know the general stuff, right? Tomorrow, if you're not going to work on a Salesforce, still the certification will be useful because you have learned a lot of other stuff, right, around which is not really related to Salesforce. So, um, but that's why I said this is one of the best cert I'm teaching, and I'm really having a lot of fun because I'm learning a lot of things teaching this cert, right? And even if you are someone from an SAP background, you will definitely benefit by going for the certification. So that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. Adios.